Welcome to the world of foundation. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to get that perfect base just for you. I have included a diverse range of faces packed with very important, useful information so that you can find one that's just right for you. Before buying your foundation, everybody wants to know, what is my skin tone? And you know what, guys? Don't worry about it, because I get so confused about what skin tone is all about, even after 20 years. But a good rule of thumb is, if you look under your wrists and if the veins kind of read more green, it's a warm undertone. If they read more blue, then it's a cool undertone. However, if you look at it and you cannot decide whether it's green or blue, you are probably a neutral. And if in doubt, go for neutral. Now, this is the first time at the counter trying to buy your very first foundation, and you're wondering whether this is a cool tone or a warm tone. Now, don't worry about it, because every company has their way of curating colors. It's a great way to ask the beauty experts at the counter which ones are the cool, the warm, and the neutral. If you happen to be shopping online or visiting a counter with no beauty advisors, what do? Now, I would advise that you have to decide whether you're a light, medium, or dark shade. Go into that category and choose between that range. Many brands will give you lots of hints to guide you in their packaging or their label. For example, it would say something like a W for warm, a C for cool, and an N for neutral. One of my favorite textures is velvet. Why I like velvet? Because it sits right in the middle between dewy and matte. When your face is too dewy, you could risk looking too oily and too sweaty. And when it's too matte, it can be very aging. So I find that my favorite choice is velvet. So let's talk about shade, and where do we test it? At the back of your hand? No, on your jawline. That's where I like to test my shade. Now we're going to take 3 shades, and the shade that blends and disappears into your skin is your happy match. This is shade number 1, shade number 2, and shade number 3. So you can see that there are 3 different shades on the cheek, and the one that disappears is your perfect match, like this. So once you think you've got your perfect shade, it's great to take a compact mirror, if you're in a store trying to select your perfect shade, and walk out into natural sunlight and check your shade, just to make sure that you have the perfect blend. Now, skin tones can be really tricky, and you'll find that as you walk through the counters in your department store, that different collections of brands of foundation would have different curations of shades and color. And it's good to take time to find that perfect formula and perfect shade and perfect coverage just for you. You must understand that with foundation, it is actually covering the biggest part of your makeup. So it is very important to be patient to find that perfect formula just for you. However, if you've got beautiful skin like Nita, you probably wouldn't need too much of a coverage. And if you have good skin, why cover it up? So if you're going for a casual occasion, you would need something like a BB cream or something that's light. You let your skin shine through, you let your freckles shine through, that's really pretty. However, if you're going for a red carpet event, you might want to consider something with a higher coverage. Why? Because at a red carpet event, you're going to use splash, and you want to have that beautiful, flawless skin. So remember, different foundation formulas to suit different events. Just like clothes. I've always believed that your foundation should match the season. Think about it, just like your wardrobe, the warmer the season, the less layers you wear. And the colder the season, the more layers you wear, just like your foundation. During winter, you might want to layer up with a thicker cream, just to give you that, optimum moisturizing kind of finish. And during summer, you want to wear something a little bit sheerer and lighter. What I usually do for my Asian clients, I like to put a strobing cream like this underneath to give that beautiful pearly luminosity. And over that, you put your foundation, and that gives you that flawless finish. For mid-tone girls, I like to use a peach foundation just to lift off the ashiness and bring radiance to the skin tone. And I know you girls with deeper skin tones, it gets so tricky, and you find that a lot of brands don't cater to the deeper skin tones. So take your time to find brands that curate better to deeper skin tones, which have a peach undertone or yellow undertone. They would be my bet for you. And what this does is that it brightens up your complexion and gives you beautiful luminosity, even for deeper skin tones. But we'll talk about that in another lesson. Now before you start adding foundation, just make sure that your skin is prepped. We love to put foundation on happy skin. There are 3 techniques that you could use to apply your foundation. First of all, you could use your fingers, you can use a sponge like this, you could use a beauty sponge like this, or you could use a foundation brush like this. Today, I'm gonna start with my fingers. I'm gonna put some product at the back of my hand, make sure it's all warmed up. And as the makeup artist, where I like to start putting the foundation is to the side of the face, like here, right at the side of the nose. Because you find that many times, you wouldn't need a lot of foundation in the jawline or the hairline. Now that's a big mistake that a lot of girls out there do, because they start their foundation and they start dotting their face, like follow the numbers. You don't need that. Usually that's kind of a waste of a product anyway. So I like to dot this to here, maybe a little bit of chin, and then we start to blend. And you can see that by the time I hit the cheekbone, there's probably no product over there, and that's where you get that beautiful, no mask-like kind of finish. The magic of foundation is that you don't see it, and all you see is beautiful, perfect, flawless skin. So don't put too much, because what you get is a mask-like effect. And that's a no from me. If you have problem skin, make sure that you choose a foundation that's in the right tone. Make sure that your problem skin is not dried out, and make sure that your blemishes does not have any crusty skin on top, because when you put your foundation on top, you can really tell. And when you have a spot or blemish on your face, don't worry, just dip this into a little concealer and go right into the spot, and then use your hands to pat and blur it away. Consider changing your foundation about every 3 years, because your skin texture may change and there might be new formulas out there that you haven't discovered yet. So do a little research. Well, that's it, my 101 to the world of foundation. Well, I hope you've learned something. And don't forget that, finding the right foundation for you can be really tricky, and you might not even get the perfect solution the first time. Don't give up. And if you forget anything, you can always come back to this episode and watch it again.